I just want to underscore a few of the points that Governor Ridge made so ably and eloquently, and maybe add a couple of my own. As you've seen, the people in Camp Ashraf, 3,400 women and men, face a humanitarian crisis that is entirely precipitated by the Iraqi government acting at the behest of Iran. There is no reason, none, for a deadline of December 31 other than the threat by the Iraqi government to move in with troops and arms and vehicles provided by the United States to attack defenseless women and men. They are defenseless because they surrendered their weapons. They surrendered them and got a written guarantee from the United States general that they would be treated as protected persons under the Geneva Conventions. They were screened individually by the FBI. None of them was found to be a threat. Instead of being treated the way they were guaranteed to be treated, Iraqi troops have, on at least 2 occasions, moved into the camp under arms and massacred them. And there's no other word for it. The deadline of December 31 has been imposed by the Iraqi government at the behest of Iran. What is needed is immediately for the United States and the United Nations to put troops there on the ground. As Governor Ridge said, blue helmets, a handful would be enough to prevent the Maliki government from acting. But at a minimum, we have to act to protect the security of those people. Also, the Iranian government relies heavily on the continuing classification of MEK as a foreign terrorist organization, notwithstanding that the EU, after investigation, lifted that designation, the United Kingdom lifted it, and a United States Court of Appeals a year and a half ago, when it was presented with the State Department's basis and reason for continuing that designation, said, no, you don't have enough. And you either reconsider and take them off, or you come up with a reason. That was 18 months ago. And every time the State Department is asked about it, their response is, we're thinking about it. We're thinking about it. We're thinking about it. There is no reason for the continued designation. As you heard, the designation was originally affixed out of the naive belief that it would help start a diplomatic exchange with Iran. I regret to say that even in the administration that I served in, the designation was continued because it was believed that if it was lifted, the Iranians might do something terrible, like send IEDs into Iraq, which of course they've done anyway. That was a mistake. But that was in the past. That's done. As of now, members of Congress from both parties, Democratic and Republican, former officials of government, people intimately familiar with national security, 2 former directors of the CIA, the former director of the FBI, Louis Freeh, Howard Dean, Tom Ridge, Ed Rendell, people on both sides of the aisle, regardless of party, have said this is not a political matter. This is a human rights matter. This is a matter of the safety and security of people. This is a matter of the word of the United States. One more word about the word of the United States. It is not only dishonorable for us to break our word, it is also a threat to our own security. Because if we tell people around the world, you cannot rely on the word of the United States. If you are an ally of the United States, you are an ally only so long as it is convenient. If that's the word that goes out, our own security suffers. And if we do not act, this will happen, and we will go down in history as a disgrace to ourselves, to our country, and to the remainder of the human race.